stream. So we are getting everyone back here together. We're gonna restart this whole thing. So don't worry, we haven't gone anywhere, and we're just making sure that we can get you all back on place, right? So just bear with us for 1 minute while we're actually doing this whole thing here. We're gonna be making the whole stream live again. You know, that happens. That's why, you know, this is the danger and the solution of live initiative, right? So now we go live, and sometimes problems happen, right? And so we're gonna get Ruslan and Yanis back here. I see Tatiana is right here, and so let me actually get you know. So all right, so here is okay. So I see Yanis back here. Yanis is gonna be with us in 1 minute. And I just want to make sure that we can get this whole thing on a page again, so you can, okay. All right. So, all right. So yes. Okay. So now, so Yanis is back here. So hey, Yanis, let me get Yanis back here. All right. Hey, Yanis, that's good. All right. So you know we had basically what happened was that our connection with YouTube dropped, and then we couldn't restart the stream. So so we're back here. We're in a new stream. So if you're watching us on the previous stream, you know that one is ended. Now we're restarting here. We're actually going to change the page so people can reload the page and we can get started again. I see Ruslan here. Hey, Ruslan, glad you're back. All right.
What happened? Google is not highly available. I mean,
I don't know, right?
They're not giving the elastic. That's why.
Right. So looks like we dropped it. We lost the connection to the YouTube link or something. It could be the problem of our platform on our side. It could be the problem on the streaming the other side. I don't know. I don't. Okay. So we're gonna figure out this later. But so it's good that you have here. So Pema says, hello, what happened? So Pema, we don't know yet, right? So, and we're not going to figure out this right now. But so basically what we're doing is you know, if you know anyone, if you can say on the chat, if you're still watching the chat for the previous one, and you can see, if you let people know that, you know, if they reload the page, we're going to put the things in the page again right now. So that gives us a little interlude here. Let's say we all went to, you know, we had like a little break. You know, we had to go get something to eat very fast, right? You know, and everything like this. So, so Pema, you know, this. Well, you see, this is one thing I want to tell you, right? So first of all, let me go back here and you know, let me take responsibility for this thing here. Let me get everyone else out of here while I say this. So look, this when we do this kind of things, we always have the decision: do we record a video and put a video on, or do we, you know, do live, right? And once we do live, all kinds of problems can happen, right? You know, we can, you know, the link can go down, like Ruslan's network is like on mobile today because it had a lightning strike yesterday. All kinds of problems can happen, but I prefer to deal with those problems here with you, just watching us, right? I prefer to be here with you, dealing with those problems together, because then we can bring you the most valuable content, the most valuable thing, right? So, you know, that's awesome that you understand this, because we're trying to give you the best live content. And when things go live, sometimes it's, you know, some things go wrong that's out of our control. And so while you're getting everyone back here, I just want to make sure that if you're watching us and you know you should join cloudtechdays.com. So basically, we're right now, Serge is the guy that's helping us out here. He is preparing a page to put the video back on the page that you're watching at, right? So you can go back and rewatch from there. And so, you know, so we can continue, and then and you know, maybe if nothing goes right, maybe you have to repeat this, right? How about this? It could be a situation, but you know, it looks like people are coming back. and we're gonna send emails and notice for everyone, so they know that we are back here. And so if you can hear us, if you're back here, Pema, Paulo, everyone else that was here, if you can say hello in the chat. So Paulo, if you want, I can share my failures too, right? An unhanded exception just popped up while I was developing. Okay, yes, all right. So we are all developers. We know how those things fail. So Paulo is back, right? So let us know when you're here, right? So actually, this is a good time for us to mention things, right? So Ruslan, let me put you on the spot. What was the biggest failure that you had to deal with? Hopefully, it was not the video here, but it was the biggest failure.
Look, I can tell you about experience of other people. Let's say, like, I remember this very, very good. Like, so I was like say music festival, right? And like a lot of people, like thousands, like like 10,000, something like this, like. And DJ like was playing in the middle, like the crowd is warm already, like everyone, have fun, like, and in the middle of all this, like amplifier just go down, like, and like everything stops, like much worse experience than an hour, like, because it's like thousands of for this music, like, and it just go.
Yeah, so Ruslan, you're going.
That's a live
failing right now, man. You're failing right now. We couldn't hear your last phrase right there, but at least people look on an in-person event, right? I understand exactly what you're going to. Right, you're watching a music festival, and this whole thing went out. We were having this large Java event in a city that I love. That's near São Paulo, like 4 hours away from São Paulo, and so. São Carlos is the name of the city. And so we get there, everything's ready to start. We have the opening of the event, and right in the middle of the opening of the event, lights go off, like completely. The whole university, there's no light in the whole university, and we're right in this auditorium, so this whole thing goes black, right? You can see people in the audience, right? Like, so everyone kind of turned their cell phone on and trying to find the exit, like this kind of craziness. And so we waited for about, like 10, 15 minutes, and like, is the lights coming back? We don't know. So the university professor said, look, let everyone go home. They go home, they go eat lunch, and then they come back. And so I said, no. Look, if people go home on a Saturday, right? Because there's lights were off, they're not coming back. So we have all those speakers, international speakers, coming here for the rest of the event. If you let people go home, no, they're not coming back. So basically, what I did, there was a table right outside the auditorium. So I climbed on the table, right, and start talking to people. Right, there's all like hundreds of people, right, like there, and I just started talking to people, and then I saw a speaker walking by, say, "Hey, Vinicius, come here." So I brought Vinicius up the table. And he started talking. So he started answering questions, started discussing everything. So we spoke right in the open, on top of a table, me and some other speakers. We spoke for about 3 hours. No slides, no material, no computers, nothing. Just talking with the audience, just talking to people. And then when lights come back, right, around lunchtime, lights come back. And I said, okay, so now we can let people go eat lunch, because now we know the event's going to continue, right? So yeah. And so that's what we're doing here right now for you, right? We are talking until everyone's is back, when everyone. So look, let me tell you this before we actually start again. Let me tell you this right now. So we are back on the same page, right? So if you go back to the Cloud Tech Days, right, like here, Cloud Tech Days page that you were before. We're back there, right? So I just got a message from Serge here. Everything is working on the page again. So no, it's a different video, it's a different chat, but we are back on the page. So if so you can reload the page if you want, or you can tell your friends. If anyone is asking questions, you can tell your friends to reload the page. So we're back on the page, so you can watch it again. And right now, we actually sent an email. So we just sent you an email right now. I just see Serge telling me this. So we just sent you an email letting you know that we had a failure, and then this whole thing is back, right? So Miguel is saying, so Paulo said before, right, that he had an unhandled exception popping up while he was developing right now. So that's thanks for sharing this story, Paulo. And then we actually had Miguel here saying, I have a better one, Paulo. Application crash in live presentation with the vice president of the country in your face. Ah, that is terrible, man. That's totally crazy, right? And so, well, there is a story about Twitter. I don't remember who he was, but I think it was I think he was like, was it Putin in Russia or something? I mean, there's someone, like some very important president, was going to give his first tweet, right? And that time, Twitter was not running in Java. And so Twitter would not stay up for too long. So they were so worried about that story they tell in the presentation. They were so worried about this president. I don't remember who exactly was, but this president to make his first tweet and anything goes wrong and fail, right? They actually connected the president to a server in the next room, right? So they're not so they installed the Twitter software on a different server, connected on the same room, so the guy could tweet, and then that tweet was sent to all the other servers to be spread to the world, just so it didn't fail right in front of everyone, right? So here's the page, right, with the link, the live stream link. Everything's good. Is good. I think we're all good now. So Miguel saying you won hands down. Yes, Miguel, I totally agree with this, man. With the vice president of the country right in your face, like, man, that's really scary. All right, so let me get back here, because look, I'm going. Wait, of course not the country, right? But CEO, the president of Gitlab is here with me, and things are not working. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. All right, so with all that said, guys, thanks very much for your understanding. Thanks very much for being back here. And let me get the word back to Ruslan. So if you, Ruslan, we need.
Sorry, guys, it happens sometimes. You see, heavability is very important. So this is the reason why we are talking about this. We will figure out where was the failure, but at least we came back now, and we are ready to forward. So please be ready to ask more questions. So I jump into presentation, Bruno. What do you think?
Yeah. Show back your screen and get back so we can actually get restarted here. Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting my screen now. Yes. Okay. Good.
Right.
So,
okay.
Ruslan, do you want to conclude? I think most people remember that we were discussing about SSLs and horizontal scaling and IP addresses. And from what you described, I think the best idea, the best solution is, if you know that the project is big enough and you're gonna need horizontal scaling, to set up your balancers beforehand. So maybe it's a better idea to have a balancer, have at least 2 nodes of your application server, a balancer for your database, 2 nodes for your database servers. So you have already predefined your main IP addresses for your DNS records and your database, and then you can easily scale horizontally to sky is the limit. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, yes. So it's a very good way to do it. So you just configure balancers in advance, and balancers mostly in the most cases, you don't need to scale them because exactly. The load is moving to application and to database level. So your balancers are staying number, let's say, and you have IP addresses and SSLs. So thank you, Yanis. It's a very good advice for people. Yeah, definitely. Good. So we have this easy manual scaling, right? We discussed it time about stateless and stateful approach. You can easily switch between them. I will not go through the because you can review our previous presentation. We had very conversation about stateless and stateful. But I want to emphasize automatic. So when you are on the or you're sleeping during the night, and the load is coming, so you need to configure specific triggers, and trigger configured based on CPU, memory, network, disk, SkyOps, right? And yeah, like you specify, like for example, add more nodes when load is 5%, like at least 5 minutes, then scale out to 8 nodes, one node. And then like when load goes down, like is less than 35%, like please scale into 2 nodes by 1. So you can define this trigger and the system will automatically do the job for you. Like it's easy, really. And comparing to the old ages when you need to do scripting, some kind of, logic to a new server, to, add this new server, like servers to each other, configure load balancing, like session replication. It was really, really complicated. You need to track like current load. So now the cloud can do it for you. Like, so just specify a specific, like, and it's done. So this feature I very much as well. Good. Anything else related to scaling, simplicity? Questions related to horizontal scaling, maybe? No questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, we don't see any question right now. I just want to say that Miguel, did something like we did here, right? So when he had this big problem, he said here that he restarted. He's just say, "Oh, I need to restart Windows," right? And then he upgraded the application in the background to get this whole thing back running, right? So yeah, that's exactly what we did here. We kept talking to you guys while we redid the page, we did everything. So Ruslan. I think it's all awesome in terms of scalability, and I think that there's nothing, when we can do scalability in an easy way. I've got a question for you, Ruslan. So you think that when people are able to do scalability in an easy way, like you just showed, that people use it more? And so, because do you think that a lot of people actually don't use this, don't benefit from these advantages because things are so complicated that they get afraid or they don't know how to do it, and so they just kind of keep like just running everything in one server? And so when things are a lot easier, they're actually going to have they're going to use it more, or that doesn't happen?
Exactly. This is simplicity drives people to discover new things, like because it's lower entry barrier and it's easy to start and easy to play. So you don't need to spend, like your weekends, like, or like working days to configure all these complex things. Like, so definitely, like, it drives adoption. Like, people are not afraid anymore, like, and they can get it easily. So definitely, simplicity helps to implement this horizontal automatic scaling, let's say. Yeah. Good, Bruno. So thank you for the questions. Let's move on. And this one is like high level, let's say, like next level, right? Multi-cloud deployment. And when probably you need multi-cloud, there are different cases, right? I can tell you. For example, when your customers have specific preference. For example, one customers want to host data in Amazon for compliance reason, like, or like for preference reason. I don't know, like, so they have some internal policies, like nothing can be hosted like outside of Amazon, like, or same can happen with Azure. Like Azure actually provides very good discounts and some bonuses, some programs for loyal customers. Like, so, and sometimes customers want to utilize these free resources, right? Or like you want to do have ability even on data center levels, right, on cloud providers levels. That's like very complex, honestly, today. Like not many companies have solution for multi-cloud. Because what is the problem? Like, because different clouds, they offer different APIs. Like they have different UI. Like, like you need to have one dedicated guy like for Amazon and maybe one for Azure. Like if you run multiple projects, like because they're still quite complex. And doing interoperability across the clouds is way more complex solution than just scaling project. Like, so I would say like several times more complex. And like, but there is a possibility to get it in an easy way with Gelastic. And how we do it? We can install Gelastic on Amazon on Azure, on Google, even on DigitalOcean, like, or on top of bare metal. And we unify experience for developers. So you will get the same UI and the same APIs. And you will be able to choose to which data center you want to deploy, like, or to which cloud provider you want to deploy it. So at the end, you have like the same UI panel, like the same nice dashboard, but you can deploy across different clouds, like, and you have the same unified experience. And we call it like interoperability. At my demo cluster, like, I have two different providers, OVH with bare metal and servers.com. Like, actually it's bare metal as well. Like, so I have two different providers in two different locations, actually more than two different locations here. And as you can see, like, it's the same UI, same Jelastic, like I can easily to choose to which region to deploy. So it means with Jelastic, you can simplify a lot when you move to multi-cloud. And please, when people talk multi-cloud, please take into account it's not aggregation of different services from different cloud vendors, right? Like, so you use one cloud service from one provider and another cloud from another provider. No, multi-cloud, when you use similar kind of services from different cloud providers, because then you will be able to get your data, get your application from one cloud and migrate to another one, like, right? So to do portability. So interoperability and portability, they're close to each other. And again, like, it's more for, you know, like advanced workloads, like for large scale project, like for people who need this availability across different clouds. And we have very nice features, very cool, and only Jelastic can do it today, like live migration across the clouds. When you migrate from Amazon and Azure without downtime. It sounds like, you know, some fairy tale, but it's reality. Like, we have such kind of technology that allows to do migration across different clouds. So, not sure if many people use it in public cloud, but in private cloud, it's definitely one of interesting features people like to have. Then let's go to automatic deploy and updates from Git and SVN. Coming a little bit back to real, more often used cases. For example, as I mentioned, if you use Git repo, you can enjoy deployment across multiple instances in an easy way, in an automated way. And also, there is a possibility to do commit to your repo, and Jelastic will pull this update automatically. So you can check box like auto deploy updates, and you specify which period of time when Jelastic should check these updates. And if update happens, Jelastic will pull this update and deploy across all servers. Like, easy, again, like, you just work with your Git repo and you don't think anymore about how to deliver your code to productions or to dev environments. Then, like, again, like, it's for more or less simple workloads. Like, if you talk about more complex workloads and pipelines, then I suggest you to think about additional tools like Jenkins, for example, right? Because these tools are like, they're focusing specifically on continuous integration and continuous delivery pipelines. And Jelastic has Jenkins package, and this is very nice package. It's a clustered package. When you create a Jenkins, we will create one node with master Jenkins, and then we will create one worker node for builds. But you can easily scale worker nodes horizontally. You just go and add. You see, like, there is a ability to specify like more nodes, worker nodes, and you will be able also to scale, as I mentioned here. Like, you just add more nodes. Then Jelastic will automatically connect these nodes to the master, like, and in this way you will be able to scale your builds, let's say, right? Like, if you have like multiple teams, if you have multiple projects, this is what you are looking for, like, because you don't want to, you know, like, one developer to be stuck and to wait in a queue while worker node is ready to accept his project. Like, so you want to have multiple worker nodes. And Jenkins in Jelastic is a solution which can help you.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
Ruslan, I think there's some questions here that I think you just mentioned. So I mean, there's some questions from Paulo here that I think we can address later. There's one that from Miguel that you just mentioned a minute ago, and he's asking about about the live migration. He says, so if I have a client using Azure Cloud in the US region, could I migrate my GLS to a US region to reduce latencies? That's the idea. So what's when you talk about live migration, what is the best use case for live migration?
Very good. So, for example, live migration is very useful, at least for service providers today. Like they use it often on the background. Like you don't see it. Like for example, they have like big cluster, right, and they are running customers on host nodes, but like they need to update operating system or like apply like security patches, and it's impossible to do. For example, an update which is impossible to apply without reboot of the host node, or like they want to change some devices, like disks, right? Like what options they have? Like bring down machine, right? But there are running containers inside, and if they bring it down, they will bring down end customers applications. Like, so what they do usually, we have like feature which is called like evacuation, like, and we evacuate all containers from one host node to another host node in live mode. So it takes a while, but again, like it's automated. Service provider can press a button, and containers will be evacuated and migrated to across other host nodes. So, and at the end, service provider can do maintenance. So this is one of the most used use cases. Like now, regarding migrating across the clouds, look, what is the use case for this, and what we are aiming to do? Do you know, like, I believe you use like Google Map, right? Like when you drive to a specific location, and for example, there is a traffic jam, and Google tells you like, hey, like I found a faster road, so press this button, like, and save 15 minutes. This is what we want to do with clouds, like, because we are multi-cloud solution, and we add more partners, and in the near future we will, like, today we have more than 80 data centers, like, and we will have even more. So what we aim to do, like an ability to give a customer alerts when, for example, new location is coming or new data center is coming, like, right, like we will be able to say like, hey, there is a new provider which has a better performance and a better price. Like, hey, just press a button and we will migrate you from another cloud from this cloud to another one. Like, so this is where we want to be. Another case can be you don't like, for some reason, one provider anymore. Like, so you want to migrate your old data to another one, but you have like critical applications, or like you just don't want to bring your applications down. So this is the reason why live migration can be useful for you. Of course, you can, if you create like right process for high availability, then you bring down one by one, like, and you restart the load. It's possible to do without without affecting your production as well. But still, like having live migration, it's much easier, like, because you don't need to to do all this one by one. Restart, like, and remove from load balancing, then again like add to load balancing. So it's just easier because there is no downtime with live migration. So I hope it clarified some points, but this feature is very, let's say, like new and unique because nobody did it before. And again, like as soon as it becomes more widely adopted, like more use cases will come up. Good. So I hope I answered the question. If there are no follow-up questions, then Yanis, maybe you can tell a little bit about updates automatically deploy. Like, do you use this functionality, by the way?
Well, automatic deployment is it's a nice feature because, first of all, combined with zero downtime deployment that's available in Elastic, you can literally update a live project with thousands of concurrent users. Right there, you just click redeploy, you pull code from Git, and with zero downtime deployment, there is no downtime at all. Automatic deployment, though, which we do not use on live projects, at least as an agency, it's really useful for development. When you're staging projects or you develop projects and you don't want to give access to the actual cluster to your developers, you can just link your GitHub code with a repo, deploy it on Elastic, and just click automatic deployments. And every time a developer pushes something new on the GitHub repo, automatically is pulled on the server, so they can actually see the project updated, and they can use, especially if you do website development like we do, it's really critical to test your application on mobile phones. So it's really handy, as you can understand, that the right code, they push it on Git, automatically is pulled on the server. They can use the temporary host name on Elastic and see the project live on their mobile phones. So this is really handy because it's security as well. You don't give access to all your developers to your cluster. And I think someone explained that, I think it's Miguel and Paolo, that yes, definitely that's the case. You can train people who are not sysadmins, and they will never be, because not everybody can be a sysadmin. Okay, that's clearly understood to those who deal with that kind of stuff. But you can easily train people like developers, even non-developer guys, that can do some basic management of your application servers, get backups, see if something is working, even pull code from Git or whatever subversion version control you use. So for us, automatic deployment and Git deployment is extremely useful. We do use it every day, multiple times.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Yanis, because really, that's, for me, this is, you know, what Paul is talking about. This for me is it's a big use case for me, Paulo, because you know, I've helped lots of customers that, you know, once we go there, we implement the software, we get everything running, I would put things in the cloud. Then, you know, I'm a consultant, so I leave, right? So, you know, and then a lot of times what happens that, you know, the team has to continue to support and to get things running and moving, and that's a lot easier for them to do with, you know, when things are simple and very, very powerful. There's a lot easier for them to actually just make this whole thing work. Yes, I totally agree with you, Paulo. This is exactly my main use case, right? And a lot of different customers is to actually get them. They're not cloud experts, and they're not even like Yanni said, they're not even sysadmins experts, right? And so that's good. And by the way, we have a cool story. You know, maybe you can get this guy. So I'm not sure if Serge is listening to us, but maybe we can get this friend of ours that he just did this. You know, he is you know, he's a web developer. He's not even a Java developer. He's more like a designer that does also web development. And he created this very, very cool application, very cool you know, the project that he did on top of WordPress. And then, you know, he was asking me, Bruno, how can I do this in a way that's easy for me to do? Because I'm running in this co-location servers, and, you know, performance is not good. I'm worried about, you know, getting more people into this thing. It's, you know, the whole project is going well. And I told him, so look, man, you know, you can just move to a WordPress cluster on Elastic, right? And then I told him, I said, look, you know, today I'm very, very busy. How about tomorrow we sit together and I'll help you just so you understand how the environment is, and then you can take a look. And so and then, oh, actually, I said, I just have a few minutes. I can show you a little bit so you can decide. But then tomorrow we can sit down and I can help you with this. So I showed them the environment where I show him for him to create a WordPress cluster and everything. And so I said, okay, so I don't have more time today. Let's schedule for tomorrow. So next day, he's like, Bruno, everything's running on Elastic. I'm like, what? He's like, you know, it's awesome. I move everything already. And basically he started telling me, oh, I did some tasks here, and performance is great. And I tried to throw as much things in it. It's, you know, it scales a lot and everything. And I said, okay, so then we can move. And he said, no, I already did. All the tests I'm telling you about is on the production server. I already moved it to the Elastic. And so he did this without being a sysadmin, without being develop just knowing WordPress very well. And so he moved all his application, all his customers, everything to Jelastic in a day, right? And so he's very happy with it. Maybe you can try to get him on Monday here, Ruslan, to talk a little bit about his experience. I'm not sure how his English is though, but let me check.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, guys. Cool. So yeah, working with Git today is a mandatory knowledge, honestly. Like, so you need to incorporate this into your daily processes, let's say, like, because it's easier to collaborate, it's easier to deploy, like, it's just a mandatory things you need to do. Nice. So we are ready to move forward. I explained already for Jenkins. So you can find it easily. Like, we have like Jenkins spec, DevOps spec here, right? You can choose like how many workers you want to have. And it's good to have multiple workers when you have a larger team, because you will not have a queue. And then for more advanced projects, we have Gitlab, which is, I like it very much. Like, we use Gitlab inside Jelastic for our own needs. So our runs and builds stuff, deploys source code into Gitlab. Gitlab is available as well, and we created cluster mode. Specifically, like, we have like server, right? We have registry, container registry. People asked about this, so this Gitlab container registry, and also we have runners, and these runners will be automatically connected to the server, and you can easily again scale them horizontally. And same, like, you need more runners, like, when you have a bigger team, because you don't want your developer to wait while another project is building. So you want your developers to get as much as possible, as fast as possible, his build. So, and GitLab is available here, right here. So it's like DevOps Lab GitLab server. Yeah, it's easy. Like, you just specify name, like, and that's it. Like, and you specify with Let's Encrypt by default or not. Like, we even automate SSL configurations for you. Like, there are a lot of information behind, and you get it in a simple click. Cool. So, and for super advanced users, like, who knows how to work with Kubernetes, who likes Kubernetes, and we have special solution Kubernetes cluster, and it can be integrated automatically with GitLab. So there is like auto DevOps pipelines, and yeah, I recommend you to go to our blog and to check how it works. It can save you efforts configuring. So you need to create like Kubernetes cluster. You need to create one to each to another one, but it's really simple interconnections comparing to configure it for everything from scratch. Cool. So going next.
So Ruslan,
yeah, go ahead.
Ruslan, I think that's actually a good point for me to ask you this. You mentioned about deploying Kubernetes. That's a question I get a lot in terms of Jelastic. Is that why should I go do Jelastic if I can do Kubernetes, right? Isn't Jelastic and Kubernetes the same thing, or things like that? And my experience with Kubernetes is like it's pretty complex and complicated. But if I want to use Kubernetes inside Jelastic or anything like this, is that possible? Can you talk a little bit about Jelastic and Kubernetes?
Yes, correct. So look, like, if you cannot decide like which one better to use for you, like Kubernetes or Jelastic, right? So like, and for example, you are convinced to go with Kubernetes. Like, my goal and goal of our team, like, not to turn you off from Kubernetes. Still, it's fine. Like, you go with Kubernetes. Kubernetes is a great solution, but deploy it inside Jelastic. Why? Like, inside Jelastic? Because you will enjoy vertical scaling and horizontal scaling automatically. It's automated inside. Like, so with other cloud providers, you have to pay like for limits of your worker nodes. With Jelastic, it's not like this. So again, like, you solve this right sizing problem. Like, you can set big limits for your worker nodes, But if your worker nodes are not consuming resources, like you will not pay for that resources. It's nobody else provide you something like this. And why Kubernetes can be a good option for you as well, like because there are many applications already written for Kubernetes. So maybe you don't want to, write everything from scratch. So you just grab from the market ready to go application that can be deployed into Kubernetes. So you deploy this application into Kubernetes inside Elastic. Easy, like, so you enjoy vertical scaling, so you enjoy like horizontal scaling with Elastic, and you can get your nice Kubernetes cluster. So, and even some providers are doing managed services for you with Kubernetes. But if it's too complex for you, if you realize it consumes more resources than you expected, because it is comparing when you deploy it directly into Elastic. So consider just using our certified containers, because like you can enjoy the same like scaling, right? Because why people like Kubernetes? Because it's scaling, because elasticity. But it's available in Elastic, and it's easy, nice, ready to go images, like tested and ready to go clusters. So two options available. Like it's up to you which one to use. But we have a very nice story. Like one customer used Elastic for a long time, and he was running Magento store, like eShop, and he was super happy because he never had downtimes during Black Friday, like in several years in a row. Before he always had it, like, but after he migrated to Elastic, he never had this downtime during Black Friday. And one day he came to our partner, like the trans infrastructure for him, and said, like, look, we need to migrate to Kubernetes. Like my partner said, like, okay, why do you want to migrate to Kubernetes? He said, like, yeah, look, because like people are doing this now, like it's very popular, like it's nice stuff to do today. Like the partner asked him, like, look, did you have any downtime during the last years? Like he said, like, no, never. Like, why do you want to do it? Like, again, like because like people talk about this hype. And he said, okay, I can do migration for you, like, but it's a very complex work to migrate your application from Elastic or like just deploy from scratch in Kubernetes and configure everything in the same way like it works in Elastic. It will cost you this amount of money, like, and he set him estimation, like, and the customer was thinking about it, and then finally he said, like, no, look, like, I better save this money, like, for for my project, for my team, like, let's stay where we are now. So this is a real case from our history, but again, just to emphasize, like it's possible to run scalable applications without Kubernetes and Elastic, or like if you like still Kubernetes, you can go with Kubernetes inside Elastic and enjoy vertical scaling. I hope it clarifies at least a little bit. Good. So yeah, any follow-up questions?
Yeah, I think it did clarify. There's a question here from Paulo. So look, Paulo, I think I just got the second part of your question. So I'm trying to figure out what you asked in the first one for something. Maybe the chat kind of missed something here, because he said, for example, I cannot filter providers certified for the WordPress cluster. So I think he's asking about ways to figure out the best provider for Elastic, right? So before you don't even need to answer this question, Ruslan, because let me tell you one thing, Paulo. If you're looking for a Elastic provider to experiment Elastic and everything, let me quickly tell you something. I'm even gonna get myself here on Maximize here because I need to tell you this. So let me tell you this thing. So we're doing this whole series here, to help you get more understanding of the cloud and get you some access to Ruslan. That's a good friend of mine that this is a guy that knows a lot about the cloud, and get you skills. But because you guys were asking a lot about Elastic in the last couple of days, I had a meeting with Ruslan yesterday, and I said, Ruslan, look, man, we gotta do something for these guys that are here with us, right? So all the people that are here with us, I know they are really interested in Elastic. They're really wanting to experiment and things like this. And I don't want just to send them to a web page and say, okay, just go here on a web page and just kind of experiment Elastic. So I want to do better than that, Ruslan. I had a long meeting with Ruslan yesterday, and you know what Ruslan told me? He said, we're gonna do the best thing ever, right? So I was like, whoa, yes, that's what I wanted to hear, Ruslan. So, unfortunately, Ruslan doesn't have his video right now to confirm what I just said. But, I want you to, if you want to experiment Jalaska, I just want you to wait a little bit, right? Because really, we're going to be working right after we finish this here. I have another meeting with Ruslan. We might be working over the weekend, because I want to come back here Monday for our last class. And I really want to come back here with something that's like totally amazing. It's going to blow all of you guys out of the water, because I want you to experiment Jalaska with all the support you need, with all the resource you need in an easy way. So that's the thing I'm working with Ruslan. And, I already told Ruslan, look, Ruslan, I'm going to give my own training just for you to do this. I'm ready to help you. So all of you guys here, right? So, just come back on Monday, because I don't know the details yet, right? We had a first meeting yesterday. We had a long discussion. Serge is the guy that's behind the scenes here. And he kind of suggested all kinds of good stuff. But so if you're looking, Paolo, to filter your certified user for WordPress cluster, we're going to do better than that, right? We're going to figure out a way to help you find out the best partner. We're going to work on this with you, Paolo. So I know on Monday. So just by the way, on Monday, actually, let me just kind of get back here. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and you're not registered, so I suggest you to come here, register for cloudtechdays.com, because we're going to be back here on Monday. On Monday,
Bad luck today. Maybe it's me.
Why do you think so?
I don't know. If everything was working fine the last 3 days, maybe something's wrong with me. Yeah. I don't know.
Everything was fine, but I don't think it's you. So it's technology.
Of course, it's not me. Come on. The internet is at its limits, I think, all over the world at the moment. I think the bandwidth used, it must be crazy. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, like crazy. So you are in Saloniki, it's lockdown now, right? Till which day? 30 November?
It's they do November, but I don't think here he is.
Bruno.
All right. Okay. So Audio's back. All right. So yes. So that I couldn't connect to the room. Let me see here. Everyone is here. You guys couldn't. I don't know what happened. Really, I don't know what happened now. All right.
Where are we?
Audio back. It's still here. All right. So yeah. So everyone is still here. The audio's connected. Anyway. All right. So what I was saying, and I'm not sure you guys how far you guys heard me, but just wanting what you telling all of you that's Monday. It's gonna be awesome, because Ruslan really put a lot of effort into this yesterday, right? So if I'm not sure what you heard from me, but I really suggest you come back on Monday. So how far I was when it dropped, Ruslan?
Yeah, you almost finished everything, and I completed your work. Everything is fine. I believe. Okay. Yeah, but I'm not sure if people hear me as well during this time, because something is going wrong. Looks like with the system you're using. Yeah, but maybe because probably they're not using Elastic. Yeah, we need to contact the owners, and
right. Yeah,
give them opportunity to fix this in a permanent way. Yeah, but yeah, definitely it does make sense to come on Monday and to get super cool, interesting things from us. And you will be able to do it by hands, not only listening and hear and see what we do, but and try by yourself, learn, because learning process is not only about listening. You must do some stuff, your body should learn how to do this. Cool.
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
All right. So look, guys, I lost all the questions, right? So basically, I think if there is, I think Miguel is saying, I think Google is boycotting us. So don't say that, Miguel, because now it's on the screen. So the Google algorithm is going to actually act on this. Let's remove this now. All right. So All right, guys. So look, we just want to go with you, whatever questions you have right now. If there's any question you want to ask, because let's get back. Let's restart back on Monday and work better on this. And so then you actually going to be able to, like Ruslan said, you're going to be able to play along with us, right? So let's make sure that you can come, that you can do it. So Yanis, let me ask you one thing, man. I mean, you're a good Gitlab customer. You've been doing a lot of things in Gitlab. You said that you have hundreds of containers running in Gitlab and everything. So what do you tell you told me, like I said, like when I try to convince a customer and some customers don't listen to me, but you said you got very, very good in showing customers the value of it. So if you had something to say about Gitlab, what would you say?
For agencies and developers or the clients?
Well, whatever, right? You tell. Yeah.
Well, both. Say one and second. Like, so what do you think? Yeah.
My selling point is a secret. It's a secret sauce, but okay, I'll reveal you the recipe. First of all, as I said at the beginning, related to a digital agency or developers, it literally changes completely the way you work. And the bottom line is that it gives you peace of mind and gives you plenty of time to do other things. You don't have to hire someone like a sysadmin expert, so you don't have to spend money on something which is not a full-time job. You don't have to worry about security. You don't have to worry about deployments. You don't have to worry about scalability, no matter how big the project is. And you don't have to worry about legacy. And as an agency, because I'm dealing with the internet process since the 90s, you understand we still have some legacy projects, unfortunately. But if the client does not want to upgrade, you have to stick with the legacy projects. And that was another advantage, although it's not a super duper feature. And I know everybody wants to move away from legacy, but I could bring all our projects on the Elastic, no matter what the year of development was. So I still have on our clusters, we do have PHP 5.5. I know it's bad, it's PHP 5.5, but we do because we have applications either developed by us differently. You have automations for backups within the cluster, which is great. If you want to change things, you can do stuff in real time. You discussed about the crisis management and a system crashing in front of the vice president. I've got a client on the Elastic. It's an educational platform. So one day we had to have online exams of 45 people. That's 45 people paid for this educational program, and they had to write the examination online. And an update the developers did, not my developers, but a different company. For some reason, it started, how do you say it, bringing up lots of workers, because they were saving every second all of the questions and answers of every student. So the application server halted, crashed. And it was an incompatibility with Lightspeed. And in real time, seriously, I rebuilt the whole server in 20 minutes, everybody waiting. So I set up a new application in Apache, older version of PHP just to be sure. That was a trial and error thing. And I managed within 20 minutes, with the help, of course, with our Elastic partners, to change the IP masking and brought the whole system up online, redeployed on a different server. So that could have been impossible to do on any other solution, okay? And literally saved us, because that was a 3-month course and that was an examination day. Think about that. And on top of that, I would say that I have all the projects, either small or big ones. So we may refer about the website for a cafeteria, which is a local store with like 15 visitors per day. And I do use the same platform and the same infrastructure for projects that are publishing platforms with thousands of users. We've got a sports publisher in Greece they do get 8 to 10,000 concurrent users when they've got big football matches. And that, for me, it's the same process. It doesn't change. And I know how it works. I know how to handle it. And luckily, I don't have to spend and lose my sleep if things will work or not. Because as Bruno said, you can just put the vertical scaling, to the max and not worry about it. So for us, it's a very good investment. It was a very good choice I made 5 years ago. I was worried about the costs, and it paid off. And when I try to convince other agencies, one thing that I do show them is many agencies want to build Magento clusters, okay? And they have no idea how to do it properly. And I demo this and say, look, you can go to Marketplace, you click, I want a Magento cluster, and boom, in 5 minutes, you got everything working. It just sends you the passwords and it's updated, which is magic. And they go like, what?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
So that's one demo I do to other agencies. For the clients, I just highlight things for security, especially ESOPs, high availability. I can do a demo where I can shut down one node and they can see their website running, which is crazy. I can do a demo when I update a simple thing like changing the copyright note on the website, just to demo that I can redeploy the project live without having a split second of downtime. And then they start to realize that this thing is different and starts making sense for them. And they are willing to pay more for that, even though sometimes it's cheaper than the old solution they had. So there are many, many things. And the last, because I'm using lots of time now, and the last thing for me, which is critical, is the ability, especially with the updates you did with Dockerized containers, Ruslan, to be able to update any node, either MySQL or Lightspeed, Apache Nginx. I'm referring to those Java guys because I'm using PHP. I'm sorry, I'm the bad guy.
No problem. No, you're the good guy. There's no problem.
No.
The ability to be able to click and redeploy my application server and upgrade Apache from 2.440 to 2.442 without having to worry at all, it's amazing, okay? I'm mainly using Lightspeed the last couple of years, and when a new Lightspeed version is available on Elastic, I just go through my projects, click redeploy, select the latest version of Lightspeed and the latest version of PHP, just wait a couple of minutes, and everything is done for me. No worries to get backups. No worries if the application will work or not. If for some reason it doesn't work because there is an incompatibility issue, I can just click redeploy again, go back to the previous version, and within 2 minutes, everything is back online. Think about that procedure when we used to use dedicated servers. I was a big Debian fan back in like 15 years ago. I had quite a few dedicated servers, unmanaged. I was doing all the managing. And when it was about time to update a major version of Debian, let's say from Debian 4 to Debian 5, I didn't do it, okay? Because that was the safest option. If you had like 50 websites on a big dedicated server, are you willing to take the risk of updating your core system? No, who does that? Even big corporations don't do that. That's why you had all those security issues with Sony and other companies, because they had old servers that no one was willing to take the risk to go through the upgrade process.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
with
right.
Elastic, this is like click. Well, I think that's all for now for me. I hopefully convinced you that that's a good solution for us. Probably it's for you guys. And I'm urging you to give it a try at least.
That's awesome, man. So one thing that you mentioned here was security, and there's a question from Miguel. But before I go to the question from Miguel, look, there's one thing you said, Yannis, that I totally agree with, is the whole thing about legacy applications, right? And look, guys, I've moved a lot of stuff, a lot of legacy stuff to Docker containers, for example, or to other containers. And there's one thing that kind of gets us crazy is the whole thing about the stateless thing, right? So, I mean, it's some applications are just simply not ready to be stateless. And we, you know, I know that there's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can do with Docker on this regard and everything. But the fact that Elastic actually supports stateful containers, right? You know, it makes like this a breeze for you to migrate legacy things to containers, because you know everything in Elastic is a container. So you are using containers. You are benefit from all the benefits from containers. You actually have extra benefits because you know you can move things around in a lot easier way than other container solutions. But you still have your whole old legacy thing, just kind of just moving it like Yanni said. You just get whatever legacy thing you had before and move to Elastic. It simply works, right? Because it's like, you know, it's very similar. Actually, there was a customer that said, you know, Bruno, we need to run this software here, and you know, it's a software we bought. There's no way we don't have the source code or anything like this. We just have to run this stuff here, and you know, and basically, I mean, we run a Linux container, right? And just put the software there and just runs. I mean, it's still a container. It's still movable. We can stop and start. We only pay for what we use. I mean, we have all the benefits of a container, but it simply gets and run. So I think this is a good thing, and I think that's awesome thing. But there's a question here from Miguel Ruslan. He says, talking about security, some customers needs to audit hardening. So can we achieve that with Gitlab? So before Ruslan answers that, let me just repeat this, guys. Monday, right? You know, I twisted Ruslan arms yesterday, right? You know, he was like, no, I'm not sure. So come on, Ruslan, do more. And he's like, okay, let's do more, right? You know, that's all I like Ruslan. When he jumps. So Monday, you guys are going to have a huge surprise because we are preparing something awesome for Monday. So we're going to have lots of cool stuff. You know, I was just talking about this cool stuff we're going to have on Monday, then I drop it, but we're going to have lots of cool stuff on Monday, and we're going to have, you know, I'm going to take as much as I can out of Ruslan until Monday, right? So come back here to have an awesome surprise for everyone on Monday. So Ruslan, what do you say about Miguel? About security?
Hear me, guys?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, good. So first of all, thank you, Yanis, for emphasizing these benefits, and it's really, you know, helpful even for me to see how end customers product, like, you know, and like you named very important things like redeploy, right? I even to mention this today, like honestly, like, you know, so, but it's one of the key features, like yeah, like, and thank you for this, like, and for staying with us for a long time and providing your feedback. Yeah, like, and you know, being loyal specifically at the early days, because at early days, you know, sometimes it's difficult to implement everything like in a way. Like, and Bruno helped us a lot actually during the early days as well. So thank you guys for this. I'm very this. And yeah, now talking about.
Okay, so since Ruslan said that, let me tell you this. You know, I told you that I'm not sure if I was the first, but I was definitely one of the first customers using Docker, and I know I was one of the first using, like, you know, a lot of file systems kind of things inside of Docker. So, you know, so I got Ruslan crazy, and I know I did help Ruslan by having all these special cases. But let me tell you this, Ruslan and Ruslan team, in terms of support, I mean, those guys were awesome. Really, you know, I mean, they would solve problems for me. They would tell me, look, Bruno, you're doing this. I mean, yes, we had a mistake in our side, but you're doing this thing wrong. You know, they would look into my Docker files. They would look at my source code of my application. Say, Bruno, yes, we had a mistake in our side, but you know, you're doing here wrong things right here. So I mean, they really helping me fix a lot of things. So thanks a lot, Ruslan. That was awesome work that you guys did.
Okay, good. Regarding to our hardening, like, honestly, like, it's not the best area where I can answer question now. Like, so I'm pretty sure team members who can provide very good for this one. Like, I don't know, like, Yanis, maybe you have to say about this, like audit hardening?
Regarding security, no, I didn't have any requests for that.
Yeah, look, I can tell you about security. Like we have like so many providers, like in so many different countries, and security requirements are different, and they check us from so many different angles. Like, and we get reports, like some, for example, some serious project in financial one, like, and they have like they do security audit, like and we already like 10 years in production mode. Like, so just imagine how many times security audit was done, and how many customers did it already. Like, so until today, like, I'm so happy we didn't have like serious security issues. Like, and customers applications, we cannot guarantee if customers do some bad things, right? But we have tools to prevent these bad things, like firewalls, close access to from our side. We have like isolated networks, things that help you to become actually fail to ban. So people, bad guys will not find the brute force your password, let's say. So there is a set of things related to security that can improve your security and improve your. We have projects that go through PC clients, like they're running on Elastic. We have really like big financial organizations that are running on top of Elastic, banks. Yeah, and but regarding your question, like we will involve team and try to figure out what exactly it means for you and provide some answers after.
That's awesome, Ruslan. That's awesome. So so there's a question here from Paulo, right? No, Paulo made a comment. He says, we use at least 10 different languages, and PHP has definitely its place in this world, right? So yes, it's so don't worry, Yanis. Lots of people, lots of PHP people. I mean, every time we have here, there's always someone that is a PHP developer here. That's awesome, good. So
PHP, it has.
Go ahead.
Across Elastic customers, like, so not some place across Elastic customers. Like,
right.
We have a lot of Java guys, like and started from Java, but in reality, like all hosting industry, it was about PHP and myself. Why it's like this? Because Java was too heavy and was too complex for service providers to offer services, and so Java were mostly deployed into into virtual machines. Like, it was very limited number of hosting services of Java. Like, today is different. Like, there is a Elastic now, it's here, right, and some other solutions. Like, but so there are a lot of PHP in the hosting. Like, and the most popular system is a CMS is a WordPress. Even some people like it, but you cannot deal with it. Like, like even if it has some security. It's still amazing system, like, because there are so many people around it, bigger community, like so many plugins, like stuff easy, like and doing this in the proper way, like you can get a nice result. Like, so PHP is a great language, right? And Java is a great language, and Node.js is a great language. Like, I like JavaScript very much, probably like the most. I can program on languages. Like, honestly, like, there is no religion for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we have to get going a little in a minute here, because I know Yanis has this problem that he has to leave, otherwise he's going to be stuck for the whole night in the office. We don't want that happening, right?
Weekend, stay here.
Is what?
And the whole weekend, probably.
Oh, the whole weekend, right? Yeah, because today's Friday. So yeah, we don't want Yanis stranded in his office for the whole weekend.
We have to keep the link live and keep me company until Monday. Okay, you stay here.
No. So we definitely don't want that. So Yanis, if you need to leave, let us know. But Miguel is saying here, Ruslan, I got a special case here. I have a different environment. In some moments, I would need to communicate some database from one environment to another one. Can I do that like through a local area network, or do I have to jump to the internet? I'm thinking about communications performance, right? So I mean, we do have. So Ruslan, I think that's fairly easy, right? Because I know that we have some case where we have a database in one environment that is accessed by applications in different environments. So that should be fine, right?
I do it all the time.
So yeah, so there is a possibility to isolate your environment, so one environment will not be able to talk to another one, as well as possibility to bring these environments into the same environment group, have access to each other. Like, so it's possible. Like, and I do recommend to use multiple environments, because then you can have some flexibility. You can apply. We have for time redeployment, actually traffic distributors. That's the name. Like, so we have like traffic distributor when you can put in front of one environment, and then like little bit and move traffic to another environment, see how it behaves. Like, if you again, like, if you learn how to deal with multiple environments, like, you get so nice level of flexibility. It's like third dimension of scaling, like, because first one is vertical, second one is horizontal, and one is like environments and this topology. Like, so if you are like, then you reach very high level. Yanis, you wanted to?
Yeah, there are many ways to do it. You can do it as Ruslan described. Initially, I had everything in one environment, and then I started separating it just in case of flexibility. So it's a play and go. You see what fits your needs and what makes sense to you. But you can definitely communicate one environment to another, or databases, and you can transfer easily files without having to go through the internet. And of course, it's extremely fast if you do it locally with local addresses.
Yeah, it will be private network. So actually, they are connected through private network.
It's secure and it's extremely fast. So it's even better than Simple LAN, because it's, well, at least the provider I'm using is extremely fast.
All right, that's cool. So then, last question I see here. So Paulo is already trying to get this thing going, man. I can see this, right? He's saying I'm playing with various providers' pricing calculators, right? And I see some charge for egress traffic and others not. So everyone can choose their own pricing model. That's his question. But look, Paulo, let me tell you this, man. You gotta wait till Monday, because we're gonna do an awesome thing on Monday. If I can get Ruslan to sign off what we discussed it yesterday, he's still evaluating with his team to see if he can just sign this off. If we can get him sign this off, you're gonna regret to not waiting for Monday. So wait till Monday, Paulo, because we're gonna have an awesome thing for you now and everyone else.
Black Friday Monday.
It's gonna be a Black Friday week. How about let's do it? Ruslan, can we do a Black Friday week? We start on Monday and end on Friday. How about this, Ruslan?
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's organize this together with the team.
Oh man. Okay, Ruslan is gonna come out of this call and he's gonna give me a call and say, Bruno, what are you promising? Are you crazy? Yes. All right, we're crazy here today, guys. We're totally crazy.
To be involved.
We are totally crazy here. So yes. Okay, guys. So Paulo is laughing here. All right. Okay. So Paulo, let me tell you this. Ruslan, what do you think? Every provider has their own pricing model.
Yeah, like, so provide freedom of choice. Like, we don't force anyone to specific pricing. Like, and there is a specific reason behind it. Like, look, they are managing structure. Like, we can help them to provide better services, right? And we can emphasize what they have, but we want them to be independent. Like, so they decide like which infrastructure to use, the pricing for this infrastructure, what kind of additional services they have to provide. So they have very nice flexibility. Like, we have guidelines, like, say, best practices, but there is a freedom of choice. And definitely, like, some providers some providers provide it for free. There are many. We have a catalog you can see and check, like, provide what. Please pay attention, like, so there is a big difference, between cost. Right. But there is a specific reason, like, so for example, in one country is much more expensive than in another, right? Like, so, and you need to see the center located. Like, for example, Sweden is a very expensive country, like, so hardware there, like, cost a lot of money comparing to, like, I will not name it, but still. And also, like, pay attention on quality of services, like, because just offer you a self-managed service like a panel. You cannot expect replies from them or like extra managed services, because it's not what they do the best. And we have like clear mark, like, so, like, for example, support quality is like 4 stars, or support quality is 5 stars, or even like 3 stars. 3 stars quality, but infrastructure, maybe people don't need the quality, maybe looking for, to run some, like, so it's still possible. Not yeah, that's like, and check about performance, check about additional features, like everything matter like here. Yes, like at some point you can say like, it's too complex to choose, like, man, but it's good to have a choice, honestly. Like, so start from location, which is what I recommend. Like, so if you are living in a specific country, try to choose from providers around you, like, and you will speak the same language, you will have the same quality, you can even call, like, and get a special discount, like, from your provider, right? Like, so, but we have choice, like, and the choice will grow, like so. Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. And by the way, look, I love everything that Ruslan is talking about choice, right? Because, many years ago, I wrote a blog post for Gitlab, right? I'm not sure if you remember that blog post, Ruslan, but I wrote a blog post for Gitlab that talks exactly about choice, right? And look, the thing that, before I met Ruslan, the thing that really drew me to Gitlab, and I'm like, man, this is awesome, is the whole idea that Gitlab is not a cloud provider, right? That's crazy, right? We've been talking here the whole week about clouds, and we're talking with a company that is not a cloud provider, right? Because Gitlab creates the software, and then all of those partners, they're actually the cloud providers. And I think this is awesome, right? Because this whole idea that the whole world is going to be centralized in one single cloud provider that's going to dictate all the rules. I think this is very complex, very dangerous. When I started the cloud, that was like, man, are we really going to give all the power in the whole planet for like this 2, 3, 4 companies, right? Or can we spread this out in lots of companies? And the fact that Gitlab has partners everywhere. So, there are partners in Brazil. There's multiple partners in Brazil, right? So the fact that I can deal with different companies, and I can talk with different companies with different ideas, different rules, different pricing, all of these is awesome, because it creates a competition, it creates a collaboration, it creates choice, right? So, Ruslan, really, if there's one thing that draws me to Gitlab from the very start, is this, right? I'm all for choice. So
yeah,
why we're doing here, right? Miguel is actually saying here, right? Oh, I just saw the magic in the firewall section, allowing one server from India to see another server from US. Not really sure how it does. Right? I'll do some tests. All right. So Miguel is already making this whole thing happen. That's awesome, man. That's great.
It's a magic. But it's simple magic for customers.
Yeah, it's not magic, it's technology, right, Ruslan?
Technology, exactly. The technology magicians,
Right. All right, okay, guys. So I think we're gonna get to the end of this right now. Just want to remind you guys again that on Monday, right? On Monday, we're gonna have vendors. So Samuka is saying, do my like and in my presence here in Portuguese, right? Thanks, Bruno. So thanks, Samuka. Great to have you here, man. That's awesome to be around with you. So actually, let me just a little Portuguese in the screen, right? How about this? That's great. So thanks, Samuka. Awesome that the Brazilians are here. Okay, so just a quick reminder to you that on Monday we have more cloud content. We're gonna bring how can you transform your SaaS model. So if you're a service, a software as a service company, and you want to transform your model, we can show you how you can do this with Gitlab on Monday, right? We're also going to have real use case of multi-cloud deployments. The whole thing about choice we're talking about here, you're going to see live demos of multi-cloud deployment on Monday. And we're also going to have a live demo on how to install WordPress, Kubernetes, setup scheduling, traffic distribution, DB cluster. All of those things are going to show you on Monday live how to do this. And over the weekend, look, we're not going to stay here more time because Yanni is going to have to stay here the whole weekend with us. But over the weekend, I'm going to sit down personally with Ruslan again, right? And we're going to nail down a great gift for all of you guys that have been here with us for all this time. We're going to get, we're going to figure out Gitlab's pricing. We're going to figure out a good deal. We're going to figure out how you can get our support to go implement that stuff, right? So, no, we're going to figure out a good thing for you guys. And I'm already putting my own career and skill training into the package. We're gonna make an awesome package for you. So next week we're gonna do a Black Week, right? I forgot that next week is Black Friday. I thought it was Black Friday was like end of the month, but it's already end of the month, right? Next week is the last week of the month. I didn't realize that. Okay, so we're gonna do Black Week next week, right? Actually, we should have done this event next week, so we would end on a Friday, but we didn't notice that. So we're gonna end on a Monday, and then we're gonna move. We're gonna do a whole week, Black Week. Man, Ruslan's gonna kill me.
we will
right,
it's okay, no problem. Yeah. Good guys. Thank you very much again, for attending. And Yanis, I do appreciate that you spent your time, valuable time, because we know like time is the most important. So thank you for your great words. Thank you for staying so long time, and I hope to see not 200 environments, 2,000 environments let's say in the future. Exactly. So it means business will grow. Your business will grow. You will get better recognition from community and more customers. So I wish you good luck and wish you fast growth. Joe will back you while scaling.
Thanks a lot for the invitation, Ruslan and Bruno. Thanks a lot.
Yannis, it was great. Greece is on my list, right? So I gotta go. I have a good friend, Heinz Kabutz, that lives in Greece, right? I got now you that lives in Greece. I gotta figure out, Ruslan, how do I go do an event in Greece, right? We gotta figure this out.
Why not? We can help.
We went in Greece, so.
Brazil is on my list as well, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so now, thanks everyone. Thanks, Yannis. Thanks, Ruslan. Thanks everyone for watching us here. Now, my last notice, right? Look, if you're watching this on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope or LinkedIn, whatever you're watching this, if you're not registered for Cloud Tech Days, look, let me tell you, very, very important notice, right? First of all, the recordings of all those sessions here will be available till Monday, right? So if you're not, so we had scalability on Monday, we had savings on Wednesday, we had simplicity here today. So the recording is going to be available till Monday. So if you're not registered on cloudtechdays.com, you're not going to have access to the recording. So please access right now cloudtechdays.com so you can really get there, and then you can have access to recordings on Monday. Right, we're gonna remove the recordings, right? Because there's lots of things that we said here. We have to figure out with the partners if we're allowed to actually keep this later on. So we're gonna remove the recordings on Monday. So please watch everything that you can till Monday, and then on Monday we're gonna have this awesome, great content and an awesome deal for you, right? For our Black Week next week. All right, thanks everyone. I'll see you guys on Monday, and we're gonna do more of this. So thanks, Ruslan. Thanks, Yannis. Have a great day.
Thank you guys. Have a good evening. Yeah, bye-bye.